PUA flexibility. So this is a great topic, great to have knowledge around this subject because it will really teach me as an agent in working with consumers how to maximize the cash value in a life insurance policy and the flexibility. Meaning, do I, as a policyholder or me as an agent setting a policy up for a potential client or prospect, do they want flexibility where they make the PUA payment the same time as their base premium, or do they want to be able to throw in PUAs at their leisure? How much in addition to the base premium? A lot of information here. Good to be well versed around what is possible and then start to learn about different insurance companies and such. So when it comes to the limits, this is the first thing to be aware of. All insurance companies have different limits. Wherever I set my underlying base premium, let's say it's $5,000 per year. Some insurance companies will allow me without any medical underwriting to pay 1 times that. That'd be another $5,000 per year into PUAs. Again, I can add the money, no medical underwriting. Some companies have a maximum of 3x. That would be another $15,000 on top of the $5,000 for a total of $20,000. Some companies allow me to 10x it. And when I always talk about that 10/90 split, that's what I'm referring to. And a lot of these guys will allow this. This is not just a general rule to say all companies allow this as a maximum. Some people have brought it to our attention that it seems like that's what we're implying, which is not. All companies have different rules. Some have no limit, meaning I can just add money into PUAs all day long. And some will have a dollar limit, $500,000 per year. We have some videos that go specifically into several different insurance companies, the 4 major mutuals and several others, as far as what their PUA rider limitations are. So what is important first and foremost is if I have a base premium of $5,000 or whatever, some companies will cap me out at a certain limit. Some will let me pay in $500,000, and then some will have no limit, which in that case would just be my MEC limit. So good to be aware of this. It allows me to really beef up that PUA rider or throw more money into the policy if and when I want to. Now, the next piece, underwriting. Here's the big one. When it comes to adding money into PUAs, PUA stands for what? Paid up additions. If I throw, let's say it's $100,000 into a PUA payment, that goes into my cash value, starts to accelerate the growth of the policy. I have access to it, that's great. But it also purchases me, depending on my age, this is gonna vary, but let's say another $300,000 of paid up additional life insurance. So where I'm going with this, when it comes to underwriting, if I just randomly dump in $100,000, some life insurance companies are going to look at that and say, okay, you just added $100,000. That creates a liability for me, the insurance company, of $300,000. Mr. Client, before we accept your money, why are you doing this? We might want to check your health. Did you find out you were diagnosed with a terminal illness and you might die in a year or two? Or tomorrow you're just trying to cash in for your beneficiaries? This is a legitimate concern by insurance companies. Now, depending on how the policy is set up with certain riders and such, this is really what allows for these limits here to be able to plow money into PUAs. It's more cash value planning, but it's important to be aware of the limits and underwriting limitations I can run into if the policy is not set up properly. My policy might have a MEC limit to handle 100, say it's $500,000 per year, but if I don't have the proper rider set up or it wasn't structured right from the beginning, I might have to go through medical underwriting before the company will actually accept those payments. So it's good to be aware of that, the particular insurance company, how it's designed, can I add money? We want to make sure we educate the consumer on that first and foremost. And then the frequency. This one's big because all companies, again, have different rules around this. Some companies allow me to add PUAs if I'm making my base premium payment monthly. So for example, to simplify, if I have a $12,000 base premium and I break that up over 12 months and pay $1,000 per month. If it is on the 15th of each month, the company will allow me to make an unscheduled PUA payment on the 15th of each month. I've got the option to add it or not. And I may have to underwrite for that up front too. Depends on the insurance company. That is a technical term. And these guys and other carriers follow that kind of flexibility feature or flexibility limitations. Pen is what I drew there in case I blocked the camera, sorry. Some companies will allow me to make additional PUA payments on an annual basis. So we often talk about Mass Mutual, one of the top companies. They will allow one to make additional PUA payments one time per year, every year, without any medical underwriting, if and only if the policy is set up with the proper riders. We have engaged over the years with several Mass Mutual agents that say that that's not possible. Some know it is. Has to do with the policy construct and how long the individual potentially wants to fund the policy. Good to be aware of that. And we've got more information available on other videos and other programs we have. And then some companies, which this is my personal preference here, but everyone is different, will allow us to add PUAs 100% at our leisure. What that means is it's at our leisure or on an unscheduled basis, meaning if I have a $5,000 base premium, I can throw money into PUAs literally whenever I want. It can be once a year, it can be 300 days per year. It's complete flexibility. So to give a little bit of insight as far as companies with maximum flexibility, we've got some other videos on this, but I'm gonna throw this out here. So if I look at Guardian, and if I take a smaller company like Lafayette Life, some examples of company flexibility, and the policy must be set up properly to do what I'm about to show you with the proper riders and such. If I have a 5K base premium, Guardian, got to set the policy up properly, the proper riders. They will allow me to add 10x that. That'd be another 55K per year in PUAs. At my discretion, I can pour money into that rider really whenever I want. The illustration software actually won't even let you put more in other than the first year because that's their cap. Now, the nice thing about them is historically, we've always seen top tier performance. So I can pay 10x that base premium into PUAs per year. Lafayette, if I set the policy up properly, 5K base. What did we mention on that limit before? 500K up there, some companies. Guess what Lafayette has? The 500K limitation. And Guardian does too. There's, though, reads in the illustration software, 10x or 500K. Lafayette, with the right term riders, is 500K in PUAs per year. So, Guardian, we've got closer to a 1090 split. Lafayette, if we did this, you got a 199 split, which sounds sweet. And if it was sweet, I would definitely do it for myself. It's not to say it's not. What I've found is this requires a gigantic term rider to do something like this. And again, my big thing is historical performance, company quality. That's why I'm so big on the 4 majors. But in any event, this is a great way to beef up early cash values that'll show strong guarantees as well. But both of those companies, we see different limits as far as PUA limitations. The underwriting, we have to add the right riders to add those kind of funds. If you don't have the right rider set up with the examples we just explained, what's going to happen is if I try and throw 10x in there, or 500K, it's A, going to mech, or B, the company's going to come and say, well, before we accept that money, you have to go through medical underwriting. So the initial design is critical. And then under the frequency, Both those carriers allow me to add at leisure. So these are two companies. And again, we list out, I think it's between 8 and 10 on some of our other content. But anyway, hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out anytime. We hope to talk to you in the near future. Enjoy. Hey guys, Steve Parisi here. If you enjoyed the content you just saw, please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell for future videos. If you'd like more information or to see some custom policies for yourself, feel free to call or email our offices at the contact information below.